Okay, cool. We're ready. Hello. We're not ready. Where are we at? Hi, everybody. My name is Chris McCabe. I'm one of the co-founders of Session, which is a decentralized private messaging application. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties, so we're going to be a little bit shorter today, so I'm going to speed run this for you all. But today we're talking about centralization and how it cannot keep you safe. If you don't know this now, we're going to go on a fun little journey, and I hope at the end of this you're going to realize, oh crap, I'm not too safe and there's better solutions. And I think we're all here in the Web3 space, and we understand that there are better solutions that you can accomplish with a decentralized network, and that's what I'm all about. So let's go. So there are signs that centralized technology and centralized messaging applications aren't really looking out for you and aren't really doing a good job. For instance, Telegram. I assume a lot of people here use Telegram. The founder landed in France. He has a lot of control over things, and it seems like they contained him until they started to release information and started sharing information about Telegram, and they sort of bent over and sort of folded over for foreign entities. And my point here is that when you have these centralized tech companies with centralized control, you just have to capture the king, and you can capture the information, because they pretty much have access to all of it. And then right now, all around the world, chat control, specifically in Europe, seems to be kicking off. It's failing, but this power and control that centralized organizations can be pressured into adding things that you really do not want. They're not really looking out for your privacy, and quite often, especially in the case of Discord, they went to proactively roll out Face ID for everybody in March, and everyone was so excited about it. Joking, it was a terrible trash idea, and thankfully it got pulled back and they didn't do it. But this is what's happening with these centralized sort of these power figures, these companies. They want to grab as much data as they can, and quite often, especially when it comes to the case of, say, Meta or like big tech companies, they make money from your data. Like, their business is your data. They're collecting your data, and you're trusting them with your data. And it's quite apparent, at least to me, that these organizations that you're trusting with your data really don't seem to be meeting, passing the sniff test in terms of what you expect someone to be doing and treating with your data. You have this situation where sort of Mark Zuckerberg, in really, really early days with Facebook, when it was launched, people were giving him data, and he was calling them, it's pretty much, this is a quote on the bottom right corner, they trust me, these dumb fucks. And I would just say, from that moment to this moment here, I've never felt this organization actually deserves my data and my privacy, respects my privacy. And I think that we are all, and this applies to companies, you are just sort of this product of your history. If you let people down again and again, who is to blame if your data is compromised now? Like, there's so many signs. There's signs here, and we're seeing them every day, and they're really consistent, that these centralized organizations, you're trusting them with your data, and they continue to betray you. When the government sort of comes knocking on the door, they fold. When there's profits at hand, they'll try and pull out encryption to then train their AI models and make more data out of you as a product. Not as a user, but as a product. So from my perspective, the problem is centralization. When it comes to metadata, this is a honeypot. This is just data sitting there ready to be compromised. Not many people think about metadata, but when this, for me, it's like where you're located, the time of day you're connecting to, your social graph, the size of your messages. There's just so much information that is packaged in. And also, a lot of people don't think about this, but when you're communicating on WhatsApp, you're using one of Meta's many technologies. So although you're chatting to somebody about something here, you're going on a website which probably has a cookie by Meta as well. So they have this humongous social graph of every probable person. So it's not just about the message you're sending, it's about all these little tiny cookies around the world that are coming together that can be used against you in one way or another. And that is the challenge with centralized control, centralized data, and especially metadata. There's also humongous incentives for surveillance these days. I don't know if everyone's familiar about this, but the police used to try and get a warrant to get your data from companies. But now they can just buy it. They can just buy your data from aggregates, like the data aggregates, and they don't even have to talk to the tech company. They can just buy, where were you Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, who are you connecting to, and like what were you doing, and your web browser history as well. These things can just be bought by tech companies, and they're happy to sell it to the highest bidder. And in terms of censorship as well, when it comes to centralized technology, if you're reliant on a phone number, if you're reliant on a some sort of trusted like account, you can just be kicked out. And I've heard this and I've seen this many times when it comes to, say, Telegram. People have just had their Telegram account deleted. And they come screaming, oh, I need a permissionless, like, decentralized tool. Like, what else is there? I'm like, well, I might have something for you. So this is like really serious for me. These are like the core issues that I see with centralization. And you're trusting these companies, you're trusting these people, and these people can be compromised. And I'm just going to throw this out there. I love Signal. I love privacy. I love, I'm a big privacy fan. I've been building Session for over 8 years now. The proof is in the pudding. I'm here. I love this shit. But like an example of like even the best of the best, I like Signal. Signal is an amazing application, better than the rest in terms of privacy, but there is a way that you can still compromise Signal. So I think people are kind of cognizant that when Amazon went down recently, Signal pretty much shut down too. So I'm not like, I can't say any certainty on this one, but all I'm saying is it is technically possible to compromise something like Signal, because at the end of the day, when you send a message to, say, Signal, it goes through a centralized server, be it Amazon or Google, and thanks to WikiLeaks, Edward Snowden's leak about Prism and how it collects your data and how it is working with all the big tech companies in the US to collect as much data as they please and not talk about it. Due to the infrastructure setup, you can compromise the infrastructure that, say, Signal is running on. And thankfully, it's generally just operating on, say, Amazon or just Google. So you just have to compromise one big tech company that is already probably working with Prism. So this is a few years ago. There hasn't been an update on this in a while, but you can assume that it's either still operating or something even more advanced is operating today with the complement of AI technology. So there is a better way. And back to that point of everything running through one server infrastructure. So Session is a decentralized messaging application. And if you were to apply the same logic of, say, hey, we're going to compromise the infrastructure layer of Session, it is actually running through a humongous decentralized node network, which means that you would have to compromise hundreds of different internet providers, server providers, and they all have to be quiet and not whistleblow or leak information about what they're doing. So there's this like next level in terms of freedom from compromisation due to the decentralized network of Session. If you haven't used Session before, it's a free messaging application, has over 1.7 million monthly active users, probably about 50 or 60,000 French users. Thank you, French people. But yeah, it is a real messaging application that works today. No metadata. Yeah, it's a real ripper. Feel free to try it out later. It's lovely. But in terms of our approach, like when we're thinking about these centralized operators, the core issue is the infrastructure. Like how easily can you compromise this infrastructure for us as like the company? Because all the communications are running through decentralized networks, that means that we cannot access any of your messages. Even if I landed in France, which I did, it's a lovely place, I didn't get a gun put to my head or pushed into handing over any information about people because I don't have any information. I work at the project. There is absolutely nothing I can give about an individual, whereas unfortunately on the centralized options, they can pressure them and get what they please. Otherwise, you're not coming out of jail. And in terms of like honeypots and leaked information, a lot of people trust Telegram, WhatsApp. Good for you, have a good time. The challenge here is that it's all sitting on these centralized servers that they relatively do have access to. Especially with Telegram, majority of the people, it's not encrypted. It's like a unencrypted messaging application. And a lot of people think that Telegram is protecting their privacy, but it is like, it is what it is. I would just say, like it's a great application, but that information is sitting there. And if you compromise the king, you can compromise the data. Like in terms of our key like value propositions for Session, there's no phone numbers, no email. And it seems to be a core feature in centralized applications where your phone number is your ticket to entry. But we've seen many times in, say, Hong Kong, in Iran, in different countries where they'll just block the access to signing up to an application with a phone number. You can get your SIM swapped, and then just completely lose access to all your communications messages. So this is our approach. It's also, it's public-private key encryption, none of that control mechanism. It's also unrouted. So that concept before about metadata, when you're accessing session, you're just chatting to people. You're not sharing them your location. You're not sharing any sort of personal information. So it stands out superiorly from the centralized options where they've got your IP, they've got your location, and a lot of your information. Cool. So what is the special sauce with session? Like a key concept here is when you send me a message, it will get routed to 3 nodes on the decentralized network. It will strip off the metadata. We store it in a decentralized swarm of nodes, and then unroute it again. That means that the company, the people behind it, we don't get your IP, we don't get any tracking, we don't even know really that you're using session. You're just having a good time, speaking freely and connecting with friends, family, or whatever the hell you want to do. Have a good time. You're free. These are like the key concepts. If you were to go out today and be like, I'm going to build a messaging application, I'm going to build something, and I care about privacy a lot. I assume a lot of you do. You're not going to add phone numbers. You're not going to add email. You're not going to be tracking IPs because that is what will get you compromised. And maybe you're not even a person of interest, but if you know someone who is very successful in any industry, you're a person of interest. There's always some degree of separation in terms of who is a target and who is of interest. So this is our approach. These are things that are not included in session, and it's like essential in terms of protecting your privacy. All right, so a little elephant in the room. If you use session, if you heard about us, it's not perfect. It has a few little quirks and bugs. Some would say features. But in terms of what we're looking forward to in the future, post-quantum encryption is essential. This shit is getting very serious right now in terms of quantum computing. Perfect forward secrecy. One thing that is holding us back from Signal, Signal's an amazing application, has PFS, and that just means that if someone compromises your account, they can get sort of more of your messages. And this is something that is a big complaint about session. We're bringing it back in, so don't worry about it. It's coming back in this year. If we can survive this year, this is coming straight back in. And we can achieve this now due to a lot of changes that have happened over the years, and also decentralized device management. So what that means is you just know if your account's compromised and you can have a much more secure experience. And this is our sort of path to being the absolute #1 in terms of private communications and user experience. All right, so session is nothing's free. This is like a classic concept of things always cost, and if you're not paying for something, you're the product. Unfortunately, in Session's case, it is a free product. We are looking to launch pro and premium things to actually become a sustainable technology. But it's a bit of a journey to get there still. And we're actually, as a project, I would say Session is probably one of the most used applications in Web3. We have hundreds of thousands of downloads per month, millions of users. But due to our sort of path to sustainability, haven't got there in time. As a project, it ends there. Oh, my last slide's gone. Here we go. We've only got weeks to live, and this is quite a serious call for action. As one of the most used private decentralized communication tools that exists, that is truly looking out for people's privacy. There's a lot of other projects popping off right now who say they're here for privacy, but really it's a bit of a facade, and they're not actually doing what's required to protect the users. We as a project are sort of on a really challenging time right now. And if we don't get more support in the next few weeks, then we're not going to make it to the point of sustainability and to continue being one of the biggest Web3 products that exists. So this is sort of a call for help. If there's anyone who wants to get involved in the project, get involved. Feel free to reach out to me in the project. If you haven't used Session before, go for it. It's an amazing tool. And that's us. We really care about privacy. And I'm quite certain that every centralized company starts off caring about privacy, but if they ever can get access to your data, then there's a non-zero chance that it will get compromised at one point in time. So our essence as a project is never touching your data. We don't even want to go near it, and by not going near it, it never allows us to then be corrupted in the future. So I hope this project lives on. I absolutely love Session. I think it has so much momentum in the space, and I appreciate everyone's time here today. And yeah, all the best. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Like right